Pragya Biology classes. This is Dr. Shal Pragya, and today we will talk about reproduction in animals. We have already discussed about reproduction in plants in one complete video where I have also discussed what is reproduction, why reproduction is necessary for living organisms, whether they are plant or animals, what are the uses of reproduction, then what are the different methods used for reproduction. In this video, we will talk about animals, how reproduction occurs in animals. So, as we know, my dear students, that reproduction in lower animals, in smaller organisms, reproduction occurs asexually. Okay, generally occurs by asexual method, whereas in larger animals, reproduction occurs by sexual method. Asexual method like binary fission, as we have already seen in amoeba, then budding we have seen in hydra. So the various methods for asexual and sexual reproduction we have seen in the previous video. Now we will discuss how reproduction occurs in animals. So in animals, in most of the animals, reproduction occurs sexually, in which two sexes, these are male sex and female sex, they involved to produce a new individual. They both are involved to produce a new individual. Gametes are produced from male and female, and their union results in the formation of zygote, and this zygote develops into a new individual. In some animals, the embryo grows outside the mother's body. It grows outside the mother's body in a hard-shelled structure that is known as egg. In human beings, the reproductive system is highly developed. It is highly developed, and the male organism produces sperm that are the male gamete, and the female organism produces ovum that is the female gamete. The fusion of sperm and ovum to produce zygote is termed as fertilization. Fertilization can be of two types. अब fertilization कितने तरह से हो सकते हैं? दो तरह से. These are external fertilization and internal fertilization. When fusion of male and female gamete occurs outside the mother's body or outside the body of female is known as external fertilization. Whereas when the fertilization or when the fusion of male and female gamete occurs inside the female body, then it is known as internal fertilization. External fertilization can be seen in fish and frogs, whereas internal fertilization is seen in reptile, mammals and birds. Now, if we talk about reptiles and birds, then they are oviparous. Oviparous means egg-laying animals. These are egg-laying animals, whereas mammals are viviparous. Viviparous means they give birth to their babies. Now, if we talk about insects and the different amphibians, okay, insect and amphibians, the newly born offspring is very different from the adult ones. Newly born offspring are very different from the adult ones, and these newly born offsprings are known as larvae. These are known as larvae. These larvae goes through various stages of development. Various stages of development during the life cycle and changes into an adult. Okay. So, लार्वा क्या करते हैं? वेरियस स्टेजेस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट से गुजरते हुए ये किस चीज में कन्वर्ट कर जाते हैं? एडल्ट्स में कन्वर्ट कर सकते जाते हैं, और जिस प्रोसेस से ये लार्वा से एडल्ट में कन्वर्ट करते हैं, उस प्रोसेस को हम लोगों ने कहा मेटामॉर्फोसिस. So, the larva goes through various stages of development during the life cycle and changes its हैबिट्स एंड अपीयरेंस कंप्लीटली। उनके जो हैबिट्स और अपीयरेंस होते हैं वो कंप्लीटली डिफर करते हैं इन केस ऑफ एडल्ट। लार्वा जो बिल्कुल ही डिफरेंट होता है और मेटामॉर्फोसिस के बाद एक अलग ही रूप ले लेता है। सो मेटामॉर्फोसिस इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ सडन चेंज, जिससे कि larva can be converted into adult. Now we will study about reproduction in human beings. So for that we will study the structure of reproductive organs in male and female. We will also study the structure of male and female gametes. First of all, we will talk about the structure of male reproductive system. The male reproductive system consists of 2 testes, then sperm ducts and various accessory glands and a copulatory organ that is called penis. Testes are the male reproductive organ. Those are 2 in number. Testes are located outside the abdominal cavity in a skin sac called scrotum. The function of testes is to produce sperm, which is the smallest human cell. They lie outside the abdominal cavity as they produce sperm at a temperature 2 to 3 degrees lower than that of body temperature. The testis is enclosed in a dense fibrous coat called tunica albuginea. Now we will discuss about sperm ducts. Various ducts arise from the testis such as epididymis, vas deferens, vas efferentia. Epididymis is a highly convoluted tubules that acts as storage site for the sperms. Storage site for the sperms. So it stores the mature sperm and it is the temporary site for the storage of sperm that runs from the back side of the testis and emerges as partially coiled tube called vas deferens or sperm duct. Vas deferens transports sperms from epididymis to the urethra. Now urethra जो है वो क्या कर रहा है, रिसीव कर रहा है sperms को from the vas deferens. The penis is the male external sex organ. The main function of penis is to transfer semen from the male into the vagina of the female during mating. Not only this, the penis is also used to pass the urine as well. Now, we should know about semen. What is semen? Because just now we have studied that the penis transfers semen from the male to the vagina of female. So we should have some information about semen too. Semen is the mixture of sperms and secretions of various glands of male reproductive system. It is whitish in nature, milky white in nature. Now we will study about the structure of male gamete, that is sperm.
Let's study the structure and function of a sperm. The term sperm refers to the male gamete, which is derived from the Greek word sperma, which means the seed. A typical sperm consists of 4 parts. These are the head, the neck, middle piece, and tail. Let's have a closer look at the structure of the sperm cell. The sperm head is a oval haploid structure that allows to penetrate the egg. The head contains a nucleus. It is a large flattened structure, a modified Golgi complex, and the acrosome. This acrosomal region helps the sperm in penetrating the sperm into the ovum. इस तरह से हम लोगों ने देखा कि एक्रोसोम बने होते हैं मॉडिफाइड गोल्जी कॉम्प्लेक्स के, और ये एक एंजाइम सिक्रीट करते हैं जिसे हम लोग स्पर्म लाइसिन एंजाइम कहते हैं, और इस एंजाइम की मदद से ये पेनिट्रेट करते हैं ओवम को. Now we will talk about a short region that is seen immediately behind the head region. This is the neck region, which is also called the connecting piece. It is made up of a proximal centriole and a distal centriole. Proximal centriole initiates the division of zygote. The middle piece is seen behind the neck region. This middle piece is made up of mitochondria. So we can say that the middle piece supplies energy to the sperm and is surrounded by a thin cytoplasmic sheath called manset. In the middle piece, the spirally arranged mitochondria is known as Naben-kern. Now we will talk about the structure of last part, that is the tail region. It is a long and cylinder part that consists of an axial filament called as flagella. The flagella is composed of a core of microtubules and helps the sperm to swim in seminal fluid towards an egg. A sperm can swim about 5 to 6.5 millimeter per minute in the uterus of the female. So a flagellating tail propels the sperm. Next we will study about the structure of female reproductive system.
There are two ovaries situated in the abdominal cavity on either side of the यूट्रस. ओवरीज कितने होते हैं? दो होते हैं और ये दो ओवरीज ओवल शेप्ड ओवरीज सिचुएटेड होते हैं यूट्रस के दोनों तरफ. और कहां पर? तो इन द एब्डोमिनल कैविटी. Each ovary produces one mature ovum every month by a process called ovulation. जिस प्रोसेस से ओवम रिलीज किया जाता है उस प्रोसेस को हम लोगों ने कहा ओव्यूलेशन. नाउ नेक्स्ट वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट द ओविडक्ट और फैलोपियन ट्यूब. नाउ व्हाट इज दिस स्ट्रक्चर? ओविडक्ट आर द फनल सेप्ट मस्कुलर ट्यूब्स. स्टार्टिंग में ओविडक्ट कैसे होते हैं? फनल सेप्ट होते हैं एंड उसके बाद ये नैरो ट्यूबुलर स्ट्रक्चर होते हैं. अब जो फनल सेप्ट स्ट्रक्चर होते हैं उसे हम लोगों ने कहा इनफंडिबुलम. इनफंडिबुलम के एंड पर हम लोग क्या देखते हैं? फिंगर लाइक प्रोजेक्शंस होते हैं फॉर रिसीविंग द ओवम. जब ओवरी ओवम को रिलीज करती है तो विद द हेल्प ऑफ फिम्ब्री दिस ओवम इज रिसीव्ड. ओवम को रिसीव किया जाता है और इसे कहाँ ट्रांसपोर्ट किया जाता है? इनफंडिबुलम से होते हुए फैलोपियन ट्यूब में. अब जब ovum is transported to the fallopian tube, then fertilization occurs in the fallopian tube only. Fallopian tube is the site where fertilization occurs. Fertilization के बाद जो जाइगोट है वह ट्रांसपोर्टेड होता है यूट्रस के अंदर. ओके, तो अब यूट्रस क्या है? नाउ वी विल सी द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ यूट्रस. सो यूट्रस इज द वाइड bag-like structure, hollow and muscular structure. ओके, तो जो भी ओविडक्ट है, अब दोनों तरफ दो ओवरी है. ओवरी जैसे ही खत्म जहां पर होता है वहां पर एक इनफनल से ट्यूब लाइक स्ट्रक्चर है दैट इज नोन एज इनफंडिबुलम. इनफंडिबुलम कंटिन्यूज एज ओविडक्ट और फैलोपियन ट्यूब. अब दोनों फैलोपियन ट्यूब यूट्रस के दोनों तरफ ओपन होंगे. सो वी कैन से दैट यूट्रस इज अ पियर शेप्ड. इसका जो शेप होगा वो कैसा होगा? पियर शेप्ड hollow muscular structure located in the abdominal cavity of the female. Its upper ends open into the fallopian tubes at the sides. दोनों साइड में वो यूट्रस जो ओपन होंगे वो किस में होंगे? फैलोपियन ट्यूब में. The lower narrow end of the uterus forms the cervix. जो lower narrow end होगा यूट्रस का that is known as cervix. So क्या बनाएंगे? cervix बनाएंगे. The development of baby takes place inside the uterus. बेबी का डेवलपमेंट यूट्रस के अंदर ही होगा. यूट्रस प्रोटेक्ट्स एंड नरिशेस द डेवलपिंग एम्ब्रियो. अब यहाँ पर दो टर्म आते हैं, एम्ब्रियो एंड फीटस. एम्ब्रियो और फीटस में क्या अंतर है वो हम लोग देख लेते हैं. तो जाइगट जब अर्ली डेवलपमेंट स्टेज में होते हैं, जाइगट जब अर्ली डेवलपमेंट स्टेज में होते हैं तो ये कहलाते हैं एम्ब्रियो. बट लेटर डेवलपमेंट स्टेज में ये क्या कहलाएगा? फीटस. एम्ब्रियो के स्टेज में जो बॉडी पार्ट्स होंगे, जो ऑर्गन्स होंगे, प्रिंसिपल ऑर्गन्स कैन नॉट बी रिकॉग्नाइज्ड। तो ये स्टेज कब होता है? तो आफ्टर फर्टिलाइजेशन, जो 2 मंथ का जो समय होता है, उस समय कोई भी ऑर्गन्स इजिली रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं किए जा सकते हैं। तो ऐसे स्टेज में जायगोट को हम लोगों ने कहा एम्ब्रियो। लेकिन जब आफ्टर 2 मंथ्स जो जितने भी प्रिंसिपल ऑर्गन्स हैं वो आइडेंटिफाई किए जा सकते हैं, वो रिजेंबल करने लगता है बेबी अपने एडल्ट से, उनके बॉडी ऑर्गन्स उनमें डेवलप कर जाते हैं, तो ऐसे डेवलपिंग बेबी को हम लोग कहते हैं फीटस। So, uterus protects and nourishes the developing embryo. The blood vessels in the thick muscular wall of uterus provide nutrition to the developing baby or fetus. Okay? तो जो blood vessels होते हैं यूट्रस के वॉल में, वो मस्कुलर वॉल होता है यूट्रस का, और इनमें जो ब्लड वेसल्स होंगे वही न्यूट्रिशन प्रोवाइड करेगा फीटस को। नाउ वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट विजाइना। The uterus communicates with the outside through a tube-like structure known as vagina. So we can say that the uterus opens into the vagina through the cervix. Uterus vagina में जो ओपन होंगे वो cervix के थ्रू, और यूट्रस अगर बॉडी से बाहर जब कम्युनिकेट करते हैं तो किसके थ्रू? vagina के थ्रू। So in this way we have discussed the structure of female reproductive system. Now we will study some important terms related to reproductive system. These terms will be used multiple times in this chapter, so we should have some information about these terms. First of all, we will discuss about menstrual cycle. This is a cyclical bleeding, or we can say a series of changes in the inner wall of the uterus of a non-pregnant female. अब क्या है? The inner wall becomes thick due to increased supply of blood, so that the wall can prepare itself for the receiving of ovum. But in the absence of sperm, the ovum does not get fertilized and dies. The inner lining of the uterus shed, and in this way menstruation begins. It lasts for 3 to 5 days. Menstruation occurs during the reproductive period from puberty to menopause. अब सवाल यह है कि puberty क्या होती है? So puberty is the period during which the reproductive system of a girl or a boy becomes mature and becomes ready for the reproduction. Now we will discuss menopause. So menopause is the complete cessation of menstruation, means menstrual period stops. During menopause, menstrual period stops. And next term is menarche. Menarche is just opposite of menopause. Menarche means onset of menstruation. Onset of menstruation in a young female between the age of 11 to 15. When the mature egg is released from the ovary से released होती है, तो it will be received by infundibulum and then transferred to the oviduct. Oviduct में if sperm is present, then fertilization occurs, and after fertilization zygote is formed. This zygote is transported to the uterus. Okay, so ovulation occurs on the 14th day of menstrual cycles. Ovulation कब होता है? 14th day of menstrual cycle. And ovulation means the release of ovary. Release of ovary in the form of a mature ovum. Mature ovum जब ovary से release होगी तो इस process को हम लोग क्या कहेंगे? Ovulation. Ovulation 14th day of menstrual cycle it occurs, and if the ovum gets fertilized, then the zygote moves from oviduct to the uterus and gets fixed in the wall of the uterus. And this process of fixing of zygote in the wall of uterus is known as implantation. So all the important terms I have already explained. I hope you would have enjoyed the video. See you very soon in my next video, where I'll discuss circulatory system in animals. So thank you for watching the video.